My sweet friend. All right,
Good morning,
go.
everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, my friends. Here we are on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. It is Flux Capacitor Day. We will get the Flux Capacitor up and running. We've already got the number figured out, so we don't need you guys to get it wrong, because we've got it right.
Hey, did I ever tell you we watched Back to the Future with my little kiddos? And my 10-year-old and 7-year-old didn't like it because it was scary. And I was like, come on, it's Back to the Future.
That's funny. It was scary.
Well, like
Interesting.
when they shoot at them, you know, it's they were like, it's scary. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a 7 and 10-year-old for you. So no flux capacitor for them.
Yeah, none for them. Goodness gracious.
All
All right, let's get rolling here this morning. Good to have everybody here as usual. As people are kind of piling in, we'll do our usual stuff and kind of talk about some wins. First of all, let's get flux capacitance out of the way. If you're not familiar with what we talk about on Wednesdays, it is a flux capacitor. It is the amount of capacitance left in the year for us to accomplish our goals that we set for ourselves. Okay, who threw it up there? Kristen, you already threw it up. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Premature threw it in the chat.
Yeah, perfect. You got it. You got it. So there's 55.8% left in the year for us. 55.8. That is the flux capacitance of the year that's left. As always, when we talk about this, just if you want to put in the chat, how do you feel you're doing? Are you ahead of schedule? Are you at par? Are you behind? You know, if you're so willing to share that, no judgment here whatsoever. But would just be curious to see if you think you're ahead, at par, or behind at 55.8% left in the year. Also, what I want to on schedule, Chance, good to go, man, at par. Was behind, but catching back up. Yeah, baby. Good one. I like it. You know why? Because I'm here and you were like, yeah, man, I got to catch up. So double last year. Oh, my. Look at that. Behind catching up. Man, good stuff. All right. So, hey, let's do this. So, Steve, you started a boot camp. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, great boot camp, man. Whew.
Yeah. So I'm curious, is there anybody here who attended the boot camp session yesterday? Anybody on the call? Anybody on the call? Do you see anybody, Steve, who might have attended?
No,
They probably got enough to do. They probably got enough to do.
It was great. Yeah.
That's like running a marathon. Anybody got up this morning and go run?
Again, did 100 miles yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to see. I just want to get some takeaways, like from the first day at the boot camp. What if somebody had a takeaway from it?
Bob French is here. He was on it yesterday.
Who was?
Bob French.
Hey, Bob, can you unmute? Just kind of give us a little takeaway from yesterday.
I was on it yesterday. Yes, it was good. It was very good. A good introduction to getting on schedule, to really following a schedule, committing to it, committing to making the calls, committing. It's more of a commitment day yesterday, and I'm interested in hearing what's going to go on in the future. But yesterday was let's commit, and we formed a teams, 4-person teams yesterday to help each other move forward in that progression. But,
accountability.
That's right.
Yeah. So I thought it was a very good meeting. It's more of what you guys talk about on these calls every morning, but it was more in depth and the reasoning behind it, and then he gave us some the numbers. 13 conversations, 13 asks equals 2. So we got all those numbers also.
Yeah. I know it was just yesterday, but have you been able to kind of go back and look at the calendar and start kind of implementing it all, or?
I couldn't do anything yesterday after that call. I'm working on three closes right now. So, and 2 of them are blowing up on me. Typical at the end.
Of course, that's what we do. Yeah, it's welcome to the loan business. Yeah.
So I'm working on 3. So I spent the whole afternoon and really into last night working on those 3.
All right, good. But you got
Fred
good stuff
Curry
out of
was
it.
there too, right here, Fred.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Appreciate you.
Great to see you, Bob.
Thanks for
Excited
sharing,
to
man.
have you,
Thank you, man. Yeah, hey, Fred, how'd it go yesterday?
Well, it was great. Everybody knows Steve is amazing as always. Always brings the energy and gave each of us a little bit of individual attention. And like we were, I think it was Bob that just spoke before me, was saying it was a commitment day. But I refused to stop working yesterday until I got my conversations in. And it's just kind of mind blowing how effective, because I mean, essentially everybody I asked for the business had somebody to refer.
No
so it was
kidding.
at
Hey,
least,
so Fred,
well, I
Fred,
won't
say that
every,
again.
I don't say all of them, but it was a few.
So
Essentially,
you had
everybody who I
conversations yeah.
asked.
Go ahead, Steve.
I think I went to
Yeah,
a
I
bad
think you had a
area.
delay. Hey,
Driving.
say that again. It broke up on us. So yesterday, it was about making a decision. Hey, Frank, listen, there's a difference. A choice means there's options. And yesterday was decision day. When you make a decision, you don't wake up and say, I wonder how I feel. You wake up and you steward the decision each and every morning. So now I'm stewarding what I've already decided. And so part of what each person has to do is decide how many conversations they're willing to have each and every day, and every conversation have an ask for the business. And Fred, I love that you took massive action. You said that you made calls yesterday afternoon and then you got referrals from that. Is that what your phone was breaking up. So say that again.
Yeah, that's correct. Everybody who I made calls, I asked for the business, but the majority of people I asked, they had someone to refer, or they're like, hey, let's dust off this. You remember so and so that I referred this guy back to you in February and he wasn't ready. Let's get together and talk about him.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Frank,
awesome.
I think that's the biggest deal. We learned from the Call Stars Blitz, with the data. Like Carl in the team, we've been saying it for a long time, but the data just backed it up. Conversations with ask turns into relational referrals. And so part of what you've got to do is make a decision of what activity you're willing to do every single day and make a commitment. So then we broke into accountability groups. And you know what? Those accountability groups help us show up even when we don't feel like it. It's a big deal.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. Good stuff, man. I freaking love it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sharing. Great stuff. And Call Stars is a big part of the boot camp, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a big part, man.
Yeah.
It's the accountability.
If I could say one more thing, I was amazed at how many people had years and years of experience. I was amazed at how many people had years and years of experience. There were people on the call, people in there. There had to be at least 10 of them who had 20 years in the business.
or more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And we all still need it, right? We all still need to come back to what works, because we get derailed, man. A lot, especially if we're longtime vets, we can get derailed just because we've been around so long.
Word.
Yeah, we can get derailed, but we just have to get back on the track and go, man. So great stuff. Well, I super appreciate it. Thanks for sharing, everybody who shared, Fred and Bob. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. We'll keep you posted on upcoming boot camps, of course. We'll keep you guys posted on that. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show today, I do have a special guest with us. And before I bring him up, I'm just curious in the chat, if you're a broker, say yes. I'm just curious how many brokers we got on the chat right now. If you're a broker, say I'm a broker, yes, or whatever. Yeah, I see a lot of brokers. So I have Dru Brents on with us. So good morning, Dru. How are you, sir?
Oh, let me unmute. Great, Frank. Thanks for having me on today.
You bet. I wanted to get Dru on here. Dru is the creator, owner, CEO of Pre-App 1003. And I wanted to get him on because, guys, actually, I just want to let you guys know this too. On Breakfast Club, going forward, we are going to have some guests from time to time, sponsor guests, if you will, to just let you guys know things that they have, things that might be useful to you, things that would be beneficial, help you increase your business, that sort of a thing. And that's just a way for us to keep Breakfast Club free for everybody, right? So everybody can come here every morning. You're going to come here, get a positive message. You're going to learn things to do. You're going to be able to implement those things and get some business in the door. So, we got to keep that afloat for you. And one of the ways we're going to do that is by having sponsors from time to time. So I wanted to bring on Dru. He's going to give us just about 5 or 6 minutes about Pre-App 1003. If you're a mortgage broker, you're using some sort of a point of sale LOS CRM system, right? And Dru Brents, and I'm actually a partner with Dru, full transparency, I've been with Drew for, gosh, how many years? At least 10 years, right, Drew?
At least 10 years, yeah.
At least 10 years, right? And he has
So
just
Steve,
put,
I just let you know, Steve, I applied for that position 11 years ago, and I got turned down. He
You
said,
got turned down.
Carl,
but
we have our
Frank got in.
we have our standards here. We have our
Hey, well,
standards.
me too,
but-
man. I think mine was about the same time. Drew
Yeah.
said, "Love you, brother,"
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not
we're
today.
we're looking for Frank. I said, okay.
yeah, there you go. So I just wanted, Drew, it's interesting because with this product, and there's a handful of products out there that are available, but man, we've been seeing a good increase of people coming over. And I was hoping you could just share, like, why do you think that is? Just give us maybe 5 or 6 minutes before we jump into the meat potatoes for everybody. 5 or 6 minutes. Why do you think people are migrating over to pre-app right now? What's the big deal?
What is it?
I think as the word gets out, our solution, our goal and my vision for the system has always been just how can we make everything simplified under one umbrella at a no-brainer price point. And so we've been constantly working toward that. And I do want to say, if anybody's used our system in the past, I'm going to ask folks to take a fresh look at it, because we are constantly just building and innovating. So what our system is, it began as a point of sale system, just an online app, and it's just sort of evolved over the years. And so now we are a true, like, all-in-one platform. When I say that, and people, there's a lot of term all-in-one, but what we mean by that is point of sale platform. So, do your online application, document uploader, all that. A full-blown LOS for the broker and for the non-Dell channel. So, structuring your loans, everything you need to do in your LOS. Product and pricing engine. So we have a very robust integration with Lender Price. So right there in your dashboard, you can price out all of your loans with up to 60 lenders. Proprietary e-signature. So as far as needing DocuSign, things like that, you don't need that on your transactions anymore with our platform. But then we also have a CRM. So as far as like your email drips and your text marketing and video marketing and managing your database. And I mean, the CRM is really easy to use, and it's nice in the sense that it's smart. You can say, look, anybody that's been closed for over 6 months with this loan of value and this loan amount and this credit score and in this area, automatically drop them onto a refinance drip. So I mean, we're doing a lot of things, but it's just one platform, is mobile responsive. And before I mention the price point, because I think that's also a big hook for people, I want to touch on one of the new things that we've done. One of our newer features is, we call it our team member feature. So now our system, you can set up roles, and team members can be, LOA 1, LOA 2, processor, post-close. I mean, you could create a role, for a janitor on the loan. Doesn't matter, but you can have team members automatically assigned to your file and automatically removed based upon certain statuses. So as an example, if you're working with a team, you could say, well, every pre-app that comes in, matter of fact, maybe you have 2 LOAs and you say, okay, every pre-app that comes in associated with this particular referral partner, I want to add Susie Q to my file. But if it's a different referral partner, I want to add a different LOA to the file. And then when it just hits, maybe it hits TRID, say, okay, now I'm going to remove that LOA and I'm going to add my processor. So there's this automatic workflow that our system handles. And with every team member, you could open up different permissions, different tasks. So that's a really cool feature. It's a fairly new feature as well. But just to kind of pull it all together, one of the other reasons why we're seeing a lot of traction is when everybody started just hurting in the industry, and I know that doesn't happen in this group, okay, but this past couple of years, people started feeling some squeeze. We decided to roll out with what we call enterprise pricing for everyone. So I thought, look, if we got a broker that has 100 LOs and we do a 1-year contract with them and a really low price point, why don't we do that for the single broker shop if he or she gives us the same terms? So our price point is $99 a month for everything: POS, LOS, product and pricing engine, good, easy CRM, e-signature, all that. $99 a month with a 1-year commitment. So I think that's why we're seeing it. It eliminates multiple systems, but again, it's $99 a month. And so we're really underselling it. So anyway, that's, us in a nutshell.
I love it. Thanks for that review too. The other thing I'll point out too, guys, the thing that I like about it a lot is the point of sale does not require usernames or passwords, which is, I don't know how Drew did it, but it's all completely secure. So, when you send a link to someone to get the application started, if they've got to go in and set up an account, username and password, that's a hurdle. That's a hurdle, immediate hurdle, right? For them to get through. It's like, I'll get to that later, right? That's what happens a lot with the pre-app point of sale. There's none of that. It's just like, let's get started. Start answering questions, and it's absolutely 100% secure. The other really cool thing, we'll move on here, Drew. Thank you so much. But the other really cool thing is that Drew put it together so that you can literally be, out fishing and get a call from a referral partner, send your pre-app link out, get the information back, and from your phone, completely pre-approve the file right from your phone, issue a pre-approval letter, in between casts. You know what I mean? So I'm not even kidding. That's how cool he made it. So it's really, really cool. It's preapp1003.com. Go there. There is a little demo right on the homepage, but you can interact with the team there at preapp1003. So if you're a mortgage broker, you're kind of thinking about exploring other point of sales, LOSs, that kind of thing. Oh, and also we are integrating with the LOAI CRM. That process is underway. So they'll be connecting together.
Real quick before we released a new UI for the application, and if people want to see that, they could text text the word demo to 33655. So if you want to see our new,
drop that in the chat, Drew.
One more time. 335.
Talk to us Southern people down here a little slower. What was that number?
Put it in the chat.
Text demo to 33655. Put it in the chat. Yeah.
You didn't get that call.
I still didn't get that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm in Central Florida. I'm in Central Florida.
Don't be rushed. You're good, man. Take your time.
All right. So if you want to see the new application user interface, and remember, it's completely customizable to your company branding and colors. You go dark mode, light mode, but you could text the word demo to this number 33655. So text the word demo to 33655. And again, it's just an example of what the application looks like, the workflow. So check it out.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hey,
cool.
And by the way, Carlos in here said, I've used pre-app 1003 for years and years. It's such an easy platform. Drew and his support team are second to none.
Thank you.
And there's a lot of great comments in here. So
wonderful.
We switched in October. That's from Andrew. So, hey, and there's a lot of people that want to contact you. And so, Drew, the key is just go to the website and they'll get in touch that way.
Yeah. Or people feel free to email me too, Drew, DRU.
Drop it in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I'll put it in the chat. Thanks.
Yeah,
Sorry,
in the chat.
There you go.
Yeah. And then we got Adam with a hand up real quick. Adam, what you got?
What's up,
Yeah,
Johnny?
just real quick. I don't know if you said it while it was going on, but it automatically syncs with any other LOS that's out there.
Does it sync with an no, because we are in the LOS space, and so we just put our bandwidth in developing our own LOS versus integrating with other big box LOS platforms.
All right. So you can't, can you do a Zapier to like a Encompass or something like that? Or no, it's not going to talk to
Not
anybody
with
else?
Encompass, no. The Zapier integration would actually create an outside lead source and create a contact in the CRM to do automatic responses. But no, sir, we don't integrate at all with Encompass. I'm sorry.
How about LendingPad?
LendingPad, no. LendingPad's really a competitor of ours, and so we don't integrate with them. We would actually be a better solution than what's offered there because of the all-in-one. And honestly, our stuff, in my opinion, of course, I'm biased, it's just easier to use,
Right.
Real quick, Chauncey. You had your hand up.
All right, got it. Don't send me the horn. All right.
Sad trombone on its way.
Okay. Quick question, Drew. Maybe I missed it. Does the app, can the agent have the app and it already just has us as collaborators, and then they can just send a link out to applicants? Maybe I missed that part.
Yeah, so we do have a co-branded application with realtors, and so and you could, there's ways in this part of our training we could show you how you could save that on their phones. You can have a unique keyword also that you could text maybe. What if you did sign writers for that realtor? Maybe her name is Susie. Text Susie to 33655 to get started. Have your co-branded app with a co-branded video, you introducing yourself with the realtor to that prospect. The cool thing about it is when people do that, you get a text notification capturing the phone number of that prospect. So you just captured a lead, whether they fill out an app or not. So yes, co-branded, there's so much to it that I just can't, you
Grab
need
a
to see it,
demo.
but we've done
Yeah.
so many little granular things.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I would just reach out to the team guys. Yes, it'll import, it'll import, export Fanny files. You can get your point files transferred over, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I would just reach out to the team. Drew's got his contact information in there. And just reach out to him. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I did want to get to this topic. So if it's okay, we'll move along if that's okay with everybody. Drew, hey man, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. We'll have you back again. Keep us posted on updates, new things that you're doing, that kind of stuff. There you go, guys. If you're a broker, check it out. If you're having any thoughts of looking at different point of sales, LOSs, that type of a thing. And yes, we will be integrating fully with the AI CRM. So moving right along, my friends, let's get to the topic at hand. And I put out on the email that went out, and this dovetails with what we talked about yesterday. Remember, yesterday we were talking about being able to say no to things, right? And but what I thought would be a great thing to explore today, very briefly, we've got about 10 minutes, which I think is ample time, is just to take a look at our what we call the acts of freedom in mortgage marketing animals. And it took me a while to figure out what Carl meant by acts of freedom. I'm not going to lie. Like, acts of freedom, what does he mean by this, right? But I've come to learn it means axing out things that you shouldn't be doing, basically, or things that aren't making you any money, getting rid of stuff that's holding you back, slowing you down, tying you up, that kind of a thing. So I'm wondering if we're going to go ahead and show this in the system. Either Jen or Kristen's going to bring this up on the screen just to have a look at it and kind of explain really quickly what it means and what this process is to walk through this acts of freedom. And if you've done the acts of freedom with animals, if you could put in the chat like your experience with it and how it may have helped you, I think that would be really powerful too. But the concept here basically, guys, is kind of keeping track of everything you do during the day, just literally everything. And this could take, a week or so of continued just documenting literally everything you do. And then with your team members, figuring out who's doing what on the team. And if all roads seem to lead to you, then you've got a big fat problem, basically, is what that comes down to. And so you have to be able to change that around. So go ahead and narrate this, whoever brought this up. Jen?
So this is just a small example of the different tasks that are out there on the Acts of Freedom worksheet on the website for members. It goes through everything soup to nuts that a loan officer does. And you just go through and you ask yourself some questions. Do I like doing this? Am I good at it? Does it make me money? And if the answer to any of those is no, then that's going to start making your job description for your new loan partner or your loan assistant or whomever it is.
So let's look at some of these examples. Answer phones, check voicemail. That could truly be something that you need to give to somebody else, right?
Yeah, just be clear, there's two parts to this. Okay,
Go.
so there's this, which is the list of everything that goes on in the mortgage space, right? And then this is daily day-to-day stuff. And then you've got the second part of it, which is vertical columns. So when you go through this list, and kind of, I think a good launching pad to do is just take the list as it is and start writing the initials next to each one of who's currently doing it. Because that's going to give you, okay, this is where it is right now. Not who you want to be doing it, but who's currently doing it. And then you take everybody who has an initial there and you give them a vertical column on another worksheet that we have. And it's very clear when you do that to see in black and white what's on your column, what's on your loan partner's column, what's on your LOA's column, whoever else is involved in the process. And when you can kind of start to see it that way, it gives you an idea of what is in your column that if you moved it would free up more time to do the thing that makes you more money, which is the prospecting activity.
I think what people are going to be shocked to see, because I know this is the experience. We do this at boot camps. We do this, a lot.
We do it internally at the animals a couple times a year because things creep back on your plate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Really? So among the team, we do it a couple times a year.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, they creep back on your plate, don't they? That's exactly what winds up happening. But to take that time and go through that sheet, and there's that laundry list of a lot of things that people are doing in the industry, right? And then going down and putting the initials of who does that for you on your team. And what's shocking, I think, is that people find is like, well, like I'm on all of it. Like, like I'm like 95% of this gigantic list. And then you can go like, okay, all right, maybe this is why I'm tired of the grind, because I am the grind. You know what I mean?
You know what else happens too, Frank?
Hmm.
Sometimes when you go down this sheet, you identify something that isn't being done,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be an opportunity area.
And that little sheet they showed, just FYI, was only like I think the main sheet is like 50. I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
Yeah, that
a
was just a
lot
snippet.
of them.
like
Yeah.
literally, I think there's 50. You know what's amazing though, Frank, is that anybody on here could send over their acts of freedom completed, and Steve and I can sit down in about 15 seconds. We can predict that person's income
Yes.
with amazing
No
accuracy.
way.
Mm-hmm. Don't even have to know who it is. Don't have to know how long they've been in the business. Don't have to. I mean, they need to be more in the business more than yesterday, per
Yeah.
se. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
But whether it's been a year or 20 years, we can predict their income we can pick.
So what you're saying is you could look at it. You could look at it and go, "That's a 4 loan a month guy."
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. Wanted to just jump in and tell you, if you're a mortgage broker and you have not checked out preapp1003.com, Broker Plus, if you haven't checked that out, you really need to. It's an all-in-one system. You'll be able to drop all kinds of other products because this LOS does it all. It's a point of sale, LOS, CRM, everything is in there. It's absolutely unbelievable at a price point that'll just blow your mind. So go check it out, preapp1003.com.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know what? You said that better. We can predict their production. I can't predict their income because
right.
They might be on 10 basis points if they're at a coffee shop, or 300 if they own the, whatever. But we can predict their production with incredible accuracy just by taking I'd say a 15-second look at their acts of freedom. How many me's do we see? Which
you know what I was surprised? I'm like, I didn't see anybody say how. Like, go deeper, Carl. Like, that's what I would want to know. It's like, how can you look at the activity and tell me what the number of units and volume and what stage they're in their growth path?
Well, like right now, everybody think just real quick. Here, I ask this question all the time, Steve, and you and I both do.
Yeah.
Is what's the number one activity that makes you most your money?
Yes.
I didn't ask you.
Everybody, hold on. Everybody drop that in the chat. So this would be a great exercise real quick. Number one activity brought in the last 5 loans or makes you most of your money.
The activity that directly got you the deal. That's what we're looking for.
Directly got you deals.
Right.
Prospecting. Okay.
Conversations.
Cool. Follow up.
Yeah.
DSP calls.
Yeah, cool. Funny. There's not one TikTok video there, But
well, hold on. I'm just kidding.
Conversations, realtor contact. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Okay. So
TikTok,
now when we look,
Craig put it in there.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Hey, and there might be. I shouldn't have said that, right?
Sure. There could be. Yeah.
There could be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is actually. I personally haven't met that person, but I'm sure I'm really sure there is. But anyway, so then what we do is, all right, now you got the number one thing. Now, and you don't need to write this in because this is brutal honesty. How many hours, minutes, if any, did you spend doing that activity last week?
Now drop that in the chat. Yeah.
Super honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Just honest.
I can tell you what the average. I can tell you what the average answer is 0.
Yeah.
Is
0 is when we do blind studies. 0.
We go across the country asking.
Yeah, it's the number one answer by far. Like 0.
And there's some guessing in there too, like don't know, honestly, no clue.
Well, I get it.
And some abouts, maybe this. So that means we don't really have a super clear picture.
It means we're overestimating ourselves, most likely, like 100% of the time, right? Me too, by the way. So this is not where we're throwing rocks at people. We're trying to help people.
Right.
So now we know your number one activity. And now you take an honest assessment. How many minutes, hours, if any, did I spend doing that last week? We can actually predict that number also just by looking at your acts of freedom. That if you've got more than 4 things with me written beside it, you're in for a hard time. You're in for a really hard time. Like no more than 4 things tied to your name. If it's more than 4, it's probably not going to work out real well. Under that current model. Yeah. That we have to spend at least like 8 to 10 hours a week prospecting.
That's it.
And by far, anybody that's really prospecting for 8 hours a week for the next 90 days, if they're not closing 10 loans a month, they're fooling themselves or they're trying to fool other people. They're really not doing it 10. That's been my experience.
Yes.
So, so the acts of freedom, you gotta start chiseling stuff off. And Steve, something else we get asked all the time. Yeah, but I can't afford it. I can't afford it. You can't afford it because you're not doing it.
That's right.
I'll never forget my dear friend Perry Belcher, which we had here on Breakfast Club. Such an influential man to me. I remember Steve. He grabbed me by the shoulders one time because he asked me something. He says, "Well, I can't afford to do that." And he grabbed me by the shoulders and I thought he was my drill sergeant for a minute there. Got
thumping you in the chest. Yeah.
He got that, but he grabbed me by the shoulder. He shook me, like literally shook me. He said, "Carl, stop thinking like a poor person. Stop thinking like a poor person." And that was an earth-shattering day for me. So that's when I learned that saying that we've said tens of thousands of times: write small checks to cash big checks. Stop thinking like a poor person. In whatever realm of your business. And now when I hire, Bob, and I've just fictitious name there, Bob to pull all that stuff off the Acts of Freedom, I got to spend more of my time prospecting. Otherwise, I've increased my overhead and not bringing in any extra loans.
Hey,
so the Acts of Freedom is very powerful.
Help with this. Where are we going to send them?
So I was going to say, if you're a member, you have access to this. So it's in the Jen. Where is it at in the website if they want to get access to this, learn how to accomplish? They probably
right
should have
on
already known all this, but
Getting started.
it's in getting started, right? Yeah. Okay.
Right on
Without
the
this,
page.
That's one of the things you got to do. You got to get things off your plate.
That's why it's in getting started.
Yeah.
That's why I said, because the problem is like I'll go meet up with Susan here, Susan Egan. I'll go meet up with her, and she goes, "Carl, I'm doing this really cool thing." I said, "What you doing?" She goes, "I'm doing this thing that." Man, that's an awesome idea. And then I start to do it, and then about 2-3 days later, I kind of fall off the wagon because I didn't take anything else off my plate. So before I do what Sue Moody tells me to do, or what Sharon Wolford tells me to do, I have to take something off my plate first. That's why we have it. Before we tell you anything to do, something's got to come off, or it's just we all know that. Right? We've all experienced it. It's not going to stick. It's not going to stick. We don't have time.
So what we want to do, guys, is if you're not a member and you want to get access to this, learn more about it, learn more about it. We got an echo here.
I like that. That's a Jimi Hendrix.
That was cool. Well, I'm a guitar player, so I
Yeah,
have special effects. So just go to dailysuccessplan.com, right? That'll work for this, right, guys? They can, okay. Dailysuccessplan.com, put a little info there. Somebody reach out to you and go through it with you. We'll show it to you. We'll go through it with you. You know what I mean? Help you out. So dailysuccessplan.com, or reach out to the main office at Mortgage Marketing Animals if you're not a member, and we'll help you with. This is like such an important piece of your lending puzzle, guys.
Foundation.
It is so huge because if you don't do this, you'll literally never be able to get out of the grind. You'll never be able to get out of it. You will always be in the grind.
And more business will just mean more stress, and more stress means I'm going to tap out.
Right.
And if you have a team, I think this is a really cool thing to do as well, because it gives each person ownership of what is on their plate, in their column, however you want to look at it. It's impactful.
Yeah, we often have members go through this, Kristen, don't we? That go through this with teams and just completely transform everything. Because they take the time to go through the Acts of Freedom, get it all figured out, and then work with the team, and it completely transforms everything towards like, now we have a machine. You know what I mean? A functional machine. So
But the other thing this reveals is redundancies. Who's like, do you have more than one person doing the same task? So that really can free up some time without even having to add anybody. Just make sure not everyone's doing it.
I like that.
Good.
All right, good stuff.
It only always works. It only always
Right,
works.
Jen, well
It
done.
only always works.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff, man. Well, thanks, Dru Brents. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much for hanging out.
Hey, he is a
sharing
great
that.
guy. We've been friends for 20 years. He's in the Houston market, and I got to tell you, there's nobody with more character and integrity and care about this industry. So, Dru, great to have you, my friend. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Been a hot minute, man.
Awesome stuff. All right, guys. Well,
Great
Brandon
topic,
Barnum
Jen.
is here.
Great
Brandon
topic,
Barnum. Yeah, it's a good topic. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
Brandon Barnum, how's it going, man?
Beautiful, Frank. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to be hearing from Brandon in a week or two. as well. He's got something really cool for us. Wait do you see what he's got? It's a teaser. I'm not going to say anything.
It's a teaser.
Yeah, you'll see. It's going to be epic. But good to have you here, brother. Good to see you, man.
Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
All right.
What are we doing today?
So it is Wednesday. Why doesn't somebody tell us what we're doing today? Come on. Who could tell us, man? Last week we had, I did actually listen to a podcast, Carl. I listened to a podcast. Yeah,
You
one of
listened to
ours.
my
And it was
podcast,
it was on a Wednesday, and it was
mine.
It was Ladies and London.
He was listening to
Breakfast
my
Club podcast just because what the heck I want to hear. And it was when Nick Nicholas was sharing. I think it was last week. He said, made one call, picked up a VA refi.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what I mean? So it's Wednesday. What are we doing today? Who's going to share? Come on. I'm good with awkward silence. Carl pays me no matter what. So come on. There you go. Josh, go.
Past client database.
What do we do?
Past client database.
What do we do with it?
Call them.
We go
What
get
do we
them.
say?
Ask for the business. Do you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refi?
Sounds entirely too easy. That can't be right.
It is.
Sounds way too simple.
And yet, 97%, that's a real number, 97% don't.
It's true. It's so simple.
That's a real number.
I actually call them every day.
Good for you.
Good for you, man.
Well, if you're
Excellent
not calling
work.
them, somebody will. So
Well,
Purpose
no,
of the
somebody's
call
calling
is
them
to
also
thank 'em.
anyway.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
be
And
the
not
first
ask
one
them.
there.
Yeah, that's right. If you're
Good
not
point.
calling them, somebody
Use the
else is.
calls.
Guarantee you. There's some 22-year-old kid with a headset on in a cube with a laminated script and your client's phone number right now making that call. That's what's happening. So better
And
we
it
do it than
doesn't matter
somebody else.
how long it's been since you talked to them. Don't let that stand in your way. It can be 15, 20 years ago. Just call them.
Who's calling today? Put in the
Yes.
chat. Are you calling today? Calling your database
Yes.
today? Who wants a deal? That's what I'm asking. The fastest way to a deal. Fastest way to a deal. Call the database. Who's calling? Who's calling? Come on, man. Let's go. Let's see it in a
we have.
That's
Like
what I like to
it
see.
should not be $35.
Oh no, it shouldn't. It should not be 35.
I'm telling you, way better than the pineapple.
Way
I hope
better
he's
than
out of
pineapple.
ordering a coffee because that should not be.
I don't know what it is,
$35.
but yeah, I'm getting excited about whatever's going on over there in Jordan's world. That's all I know. All right, guys, come on. Let's get out of here. Let's have a great day. Flux capacitor, 55.8% left, my friends. That's it. Let's make it happen. Call the past client database, ask for the business, get some deals, get some money in your pocket. Pre-app 1003, my friends. If you're a broker, go to preapp1003.com, reach out to Drew, and learn more about that. You guys have a great day. We will see you here mañana on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Adios!
Have a great day, everybody.